Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. Today we're taking a look at the FiiO Q1, or FiiO, as some people call it. It's pretty sure it's FiiO. This is a DAC and headphone amp. So if you're into high fidelity audio and you've got a pretty nice pair of headphones and you might not have enough juice to drive them from a smartphone or a hi-fi media player or something like that, this is something that people are commonly adding to their mobile hi-fi setups to be able to get some nice sound quality and has a little battery and other things like that in here to drive some of those higher quality headphones so that people can wear their $1,000 Odyssey LCD2s to the gym or something like that. So we're going to unbox this, take a look at it. I guess we'll start on the back. It's mostly in Chinese or something like that. Color is black. Weighs 100 grams. It's 97 by 56 by 13.1 millimeters. Don't know what that is in inches or centimeters. Power output is 190 megawatts or 16 ohms. Signal to noise is 107 dB. The THD, which I don't know what that is greater than 0.005%. At the end of its serviceable life, this product should not be treated as a household or general waste. It should be handed over to the applicable collection point for recycling of electrical or electronic equipment, or returned to the supplier for disposal, so they don't want you to throw it in the garbage. And then it just talks about that. It's got some QR codes for their websites and their social media sites. It has their address down there. I can't read it. It's in a different language. Stuff on the side. Their little motto there, born for music and happy. So, slight language barrier there. It says the same thing on the side, born for music and happy. Let's open this up. Why can't I figure this out? I don't want to ruin the box. Okay. Kind of a weird how that box went together. So that's kind of nice. Kind of comes in this kind of looks like sort of like alligator skin, but it's just made of paper. So I guess we'll start with this side here. I assume this is all the accessories, which we'll go over. And their accessories are awesome. That's one of the reasons why I really enjoy FiiO's products. Okay, so you've got two bands. They say mini amp, FiiO, and then their website, FiiO.com.cn. That's cool. If you've got really small wrists, I guess you could wear those. These are well, I'll show you in a minute. These just attach, help keep your devices together. Since this is an amp, it's obviously not a source. You'll still need a source like a phone or something like that, so this attaches that. Okay, so everything is in there. It's really good. More accessories on the bottom there. I thought this was like an actual box that had a top to it. That would be nice, but it doesn't. It's okay. More stuff in here. We've got a gel spacer, and again, that's something that separates the amp from the source device or something else that you would use these bands to attach it to. So this is just kind of a protective, piece of rubber to prevent damage to whatever else you're attaching it to. Here's another one, because some people have, for example, a battery backup. This obviously has a battery in it, but what if that battery dies and you still want to be mobile? So for example, I have a tube headphone amp, which I'm replacing with this, a battery backup to charge the amp when it dies, and then I have like an old 7th gen Apple iPod that I use also. So I actually have 3 devices, so that's why they include more than one. Here is some instructions here, kind of like a quick guide. Talks about warranty. Let's say warranty is 1 month guarantee for replacement, 1 year for free maintenance, half a year for the battery, accessories no warranty, packing material no warranty. So, and then this one's just another like getting started guide, connecting it to your PC and other things like that, how you appropriately connect it to source materials and other things like that. Cable they give you here is a couple feet long micro USB, so if you're an Android user, you're pretty familiar with that. Just about everybody owns one of these nowadays. A pretty decent cable. It's kind of has like a nice matte finish on it. Not too long, not too short, I suppose. And then this is the Q1 itself. A little bit smaller than I thought. Online, it makes it seem so bigger. I have really small hands, by the way, and it fits in my hand. Let me get my phone out. This is a Galaxy S7. It's a pretty standard size phone. It's 5.2 inches. It's just a lot smaller than that. So you see, it'll kind of be odd if I, wanted to use my phone as a source, for example. Let me show you the current setup that I have. So I have a 7th gen and this tube amp, which you've got all the dials and everything on here, and that's where those rubber bands come into play. I actually borrowed some rubber feet from like some speakers or other electronic equipment, put them in there, so there's a little bit of spacing between that. But this is what I would consider a pretty standard sized amp. Now this thing is horrible. Don't ever buy one of these. I did a review on these. This is the Little Bear B3, but don't buy one of those. You can see how much smaller it is compared to a pretty standard size amp like this. So it's very small. It actually is very close to the size of an iPod, as you can see there. So I'm pretty excited to use it. I'm glad that there is this small form factor here. It's pretty simple. We'll go over it real quick. So that's your headphone, bass boost, so on or off. This has a click, and you'll see that that light there illuminates when I do that. So click to turn on, and then your volume dial there, which is nice because there are plenty of headphone companies that have this, but it's this really nice protective shielding here. So if you put it in your pocket or something like that, you might crank the volume on yourself and maybe risk damaging your headphones. You've got your input into there, a gain switch, micro USB on the bottom, obviously for charging, and then a charge on or off, I guess. I suppose on would be for if you're actually charging, but off would be for, I suppose you could probably use that as a source, or maybe something else. I'm not very sure what exactly that switch does. CHG, I assume that means charge. On the back, it has a little bit of writing, Q1 obvious. Model number, the FQ1121, DAC and headphone amplifier. Input is 5-volt 1 amp, pretty standard, made in China. Really nice matte finish. It hardly weighs. It's very odd. Like you would think this would weigh more. I mean, this thing is like stupid heavy. But you have tubes in here, and you've got a big battery in the bottom, and other circuitry and stuff like this. And so there's actual tubes in here, so that makes it a little bit different. But this, obviously being a solid state amplifier, just has a board and a little bit of circuitry and probably a little bottom battery here in the bottom. So that's basically it for the FiiO Q1. I'm gonna put that down right there for a second. My computer's being a little weird here for a second. I'm on Amazon's website right now, looking at where I purchased it from. Currently it's $70, so $69.99. I bought it for $59. It goes on sale every now and again. FiiO generally has sales once every couple of months. It has 77 reviews, averages 4.2 out of 5 stars. 71% of those 77 reviews are 5-star. A couple 4-star, a couple 3, 2, and 1 star, but it's not poorly rated. Let's see. Oh, so dimensions, because I know they were in millimeters before. It's 3.8 inches by 2.2 inches by 1/2 an inch, and I assume that is at the thickest point because this kind of has a little bit of a bow and a curve to this. It's kind of funny. The customer questions and answers section on Amazon, the top question is this flask good for storing scotch? This only works with, the answer was, this only works with 12 Highland malt sherry finished, but yes, if you have to have that, it does work as well. So yeah, it does kind of have that flask sort of size and sort of shape to it. But it's pretty well rated. It's one of their newest amplifiers as of Q4 2016. It's almost 2017. It's 2 days till Christmas. And they also have the K1, which is a really, really small amp. It's like, the size of like one of these. It's really, really small. So I'll actually just move my setup around here real quick. Why is my shit freezing? So I'll move this around real quick. It does have the FiiO logo on there. I don't know if you can see that. And this, maybe. It does actually have the logo on there, which is kind of cool. So I'm going to put this on the back. I do have a couple other phones that I use, because sometimes phones are equally as good as media players. So that just protects any scratching damage or other things like that from the iPod. Scoot that down a little bit. I'll use these little black bands here. Problem again with like phones and touchscreens is you're using these bands. Can't really see half part of my screen there, but that's okay. But with the phone, it's a little bit worse because you like there's certain sections that you can't touch. Oh my gosh! I almost shot that thing across the room. So there's that, and that's a pretty common setup that somebody would have, or their smartphone. I've got some other phones over here, like an old iPhone 6 that I'll probably use for that. But that's the Q1. These Pro brands are pretty tight. I probably wouldn't. They're actually really tight. There's not much room in between them. So to put another battery on the back of this, which I might or might not do, I'll probably order a new battery that's black and matches and is a little bit smaller because the battery I have is like giant. So that's that. Good player. I'm gonna obviously test it out. This is strictly an unboxing. So like the video if you like it, dislike it if you dislike it. Questions or comments? We're doing some more reviews. Do reviews here all the time. We're reviewing the Magic Force 68 key mechanical keyboard. That's pretty cool. And I just put gold key caps on it. So we got some reviews coming up on that. I do videos almost every day in one way or another. But let me know if there's anything I missed, or if you have questions. I'll be around to answer them to the best of my ability. I'll probably come back in a couple months, 6 months maybe sooner, once I've broken this in and broken some headphones in with it and really put some time and effort into it. I've heard good and bad things. I hear it's very neutral and a pretty good amplifier. It lacks bass boost if you're a bass head. But read the reviews before you buy, and hopefully this helped you make a decision. So thanks for hanging around, guys, and we will see you in the next one.